Hi, welcome to Sunday Kids Online. It's good to have you with us again this time. We've got so much lined up for you. We're going to learn heaps about Jesus through memory verses, through songs, through a talk from the Bible, and through craft. And we're going to have lots of fun doing it together. However, before we start that though, let's pray together. So please join me. Dear God, thank you for Sunday Kids Online. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you that we can learn all about him from the Bible. And I pray we have a good time doing that today. Amen. Let's go see Nissa with our memory verse.
So our memory verse this week comes from the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 36. I'll go through it once and then we will go a bit slower so that you can follow along with me. So first up, we have Jesus paid no attention to what the men said. He said to the synagogue ruler, "Don't be afraid, just believe." All right, you ready to have a go with me? Hop on up, shake your body out, and here we go. So we're going to start with Jesus. We've got a J here. Jesus paid no attention to what the men said. He said to the synagogue ruler, "Don't be afraid." Show me your afraid face. Oh, don't be afraid. Just believe. All right, we'll go through it one more time. Follow along with me and let's see how you go. You ready? Up. Get your arms ready. Here we go. But Jesus paid no attention to what the men said. He said to the synagogue ruler, "Don't be afraid. Just believe." Great work. Amazing. Keep practicing that one. And we might see that later on in our talk. But for now, we're going to head on over to Chris and learn a song.
G'day guys, I'm Chris and we get to sing a song together right now. Now one of my favourite songs is "My God is So Big." But to do that, Pete's going to help me with the actions.
Hey guys.
So you can watch Pete and he's going to show you all the actions like the mountains, big mountains, the valleys, the trees, the rivers, the stars, the sheep.
Meh.
We're not singing about sheep, but that was funny. Guys, we're going to sing this song now, so how about you join with us? Come on, let's stand up and sing together. My God is so big. Let's go. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's true. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's true. The mountains are his, come on, big mountains. And the valleys are his, deep down low valleys. The stars are his handiwork too. Woohoo! My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's true. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's true. The trees are all his. Ooh, be a tree. The rivers are his. The stars are his handiwork too. Woohoo! My God is so big. Come on. Big's a big word, not like a big. It's big. Let's try that again. You ready? My God is so big. One more time. One more time. And I want big. I don't want big. I want big. You ready? My God is so big. Well done. So strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's good. Oh, well, now we get to learn about our big God. This is going to give us a talk. Let's go and have a listen.
Okay, so today we are going to keep thinking about how powerful Jesus is. So at Sunday Kids Online, for the last few weeks, we've been thinking about how Jesus has power to forgive people. He has power to heal people. He has power over the wind and the waves. And he also has power over spirits. And if you think that's pretty big, well, keep listening because we are going to hear about how Jesus is even more powerful as well. So where we pick up on the story, Jesus is, he's walking along and a man comes up to him, and the man is called Jairus, and his job was to work at the synagogue. He was a synagogue leader. So his job was to teach people about God. And he came up to Jesus and he said to Jesus, we've got Jesus over here, he said, Jesus, I need you to help me. I have a little girl, she was about 12 years old, and she's dying. Please, please come and touch her and she'll be healed. Come to my house. So Jesus agrees to come along with Jairus to go to his house. We've got Jairus' little girl over here. So they head off and they start walking towards Jairus' house. But while they're doing that, there are crowds by. There are people all around and they really want to see Jesus, want to touch him. They want to see what's going on, what he's about to do. And while all these people are kind of jostling around him, Jesus feels something. He feels somebody touch him and he feels some power go out of him. And he turns around and he says, "Who touched me?" Now, Jesus' friends were around and they were looking at the crowd and they said, "Jesus, there are people everywhere. Heaps of people are touching you." And Jesus said, No. I felt somebody. Somebody touched me. Well, that person that touched him was a woman. Here we go. I've got one here. She had had a bleeding sickness and she had been bleeding for 12 whole years. And no matter what she did, no matter what kind of doctor she went to or what kind of medicine she tried, nothing worked. She couldn't be healed. And she thought to herself, I know, I'm going to go and see Jesus. And if I can just touch him, if I can just be near him, I can be healed. And so she did. And so Jesus is looking around saying, "Who touched me? Who touched me? Who touched me?" And this woman, she says, "It was me." But she was so scared because she kind of snuck up and touched him a little bit. And, you know, she hadn't warned him and she didn't know whether she was allowed. And she thought maybe she was going to get in trouble from Jesus. And so she was so scared when she told him, "That was me that touched you, Jesus." Anyway, Jesus turned to her. Is she going to stand up? Yes, she is. So Jesus turned to her and he said that she wasn't in trouble. She didn't need to be afraid to talk to him. He said to her, "Because you believed, you have been made well. You can go now. I'm not angry at you. You can go." So she goes on her way. Now, can you remember where Jesus was going when all of this happened? He was with a man called Jairus, and he was on his way to Jairus' house. And can you remember why Jesus was on his way to Jairus' house? He was on his way to heal Jairus' little girl. So they continue walking and they're on their way to Jairus' house. Before they get there though, some people come outside and they say, "Don't bother Jesus anymore. It's too late. The little girl has died." And can you imagine how they might be feeling? Jairus is probably feeling horrible because his little girl has just died. And everybody around is thinking it's too late. Jesus got distracted. He's not going to come. He can't heal the little girl because she already died. And you know what happened next? I think you do. Can you remember our memory verse? When everybody was saying, "It's too late, don't bother Jesus," remember? Jesus paid no attention to what the men said. He said to the synagogue ruler, do you remember what he said? "Don't be afraid, just believe." So Jesus told the crowds to stay where they were, and he went with Jairus. And he chose a couple of friends to go with him, and they went into the house, and they went to see the little girl. And Jesus went up to the little girl, and he said something to her. He said to her, "Little girl, get up." Has someone ever told you to get up? Like maybe in the morning when you're asleep, and they come in and they say, "Come on, get up." You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get up. Well, think about this little girl. She died, and Jesus went up to her and said, "Little girl, get up." What do you think might have happened? The question is, we know that Jesus has power, right? He's got power over all sorts of things. Does he have power over death? Well, when he went up to the little girl and he said, "Little girl, get up," she got up. All of a sudden, she was fine. She was awake. She was alive. She started walking around. She was well enough to walk, to eat, to play. She was perfectly healed. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Now, why? Why are we telling you this story? Why is this story important? Well, this story has got a couple of things for you to remember. The first is always remember that Jesus, he is powerful. He is in charge of absolutely everything. We've seen how he has power over sickness. He has power over demons. He has power over weather. He even has power over death. And the second thing, I'm going to bring this woman back. Do you remember this woman? Do you remember how she was scared? A good thing to remember from this story is that you never, ever have to be scared to ask Jesus for help. He wants to help and he will help. So you can ask for Jesus for help absolutely anytime. Isn't that amazing? Jesus, who is in control of absolutely everything, wants us to ask him when we need help. I think it would be a good thing now to say thank you. Thank you for Jesus, and thank you that he loves us so much that he wants to help us too. You can pray with me. Dear God, thank you so much for Jesus. Thank you that he is so powerful and that he is in control of absolutely everything. Thank you that he showed us his power when he raised Jairus' daughter. And we thank you that he shows us that he's kind by healing the woman and speaking kindly to her. Please help us always to feel confident to ask you for help whenever we need it. Amen. All right, we're going to go head over to Pete now and do a craft.
So for craft today, we are going to make a pretty little star that you can just have lying around your house, or if you have some string, you can hang it up from maybe a doorway or a window and have it hang up like that. And you can make as many of these as you want to hang around your house. All you need are 2 bits of paper per star you make. I've got 2 different colors, so they kind of stand out. You can use different colors, you can use the same color, you can draw patterns all over your paper or have pattern paper. Whatever works, you just need 2 sheets. You also need some sticky tape and glue and some scissors. So first thing you do is you take one of your sheets of paper and you need to make it into a square. So to do that, you fold this corner up until this line is nice and straight along the top, and you have a nice diagonal line that you press down. Then you get your scissors, remembering these are sharp, and you cut along this line here and cut off this little flappy bit. And we don't need that flap for the rest of the craft, so you can put it to the side. Then you open up your square here and you'll see you have a fold line down the diagonal. You need to make another one of those. So take the other corner and fold it up to the top, press it down, so now you've got a line going the other way. Now you need to make some lines going long ways. So you take the big flat edge and take it up to the top, press it down, open it back up, turn around and do another one, the other edge up to the top. Make sure it's all lined up, press it along, open it up. So now you should have lines going down the middle of the page and lines going diagonally across the page from corner to corner. Now here is where you get your scissors. So you have to find the fold lines that are in the middle of the page, not the corner. What you do is you cut up the fold line about halfway towards the middle. And then you turn it over and then do the same to this side. Same, fold that's in the middle of the page, cut up to about halfway towards the middle. And you do that on all 4 sides. Last one there. Awesome. You put your scissors over here. Now you do some folding. So you grab this little flappy bit with the cut you've made at the bottom and you fold it in towards your diagonal line to kind of make a little triangle there. Press it down, and then you've got to do this to every single little flap you made with your cuts. So you take every little flap, make a little triangle towards the diagonal line in the corner. And you just keep going all the way around the square, folding in those little flaps to make your little triangles. This might take a while, and that's okay. And it's all right if they're not quite on the line. Pretty close is good enough. Just got to make sure that all of the little flaps are folded in towards that corner. That's these last two. Now, awesome. So when you are done, you should have kind of like a 4 pointed little shape there. All right, now you need to get your glue, and we're gonna make our little points on our star. So you have to get your glue, and when you've got 2 flaps pointed straight at you, you put glue on top of one of the flaps, and then you put the other flap on top of the one with glue in it. This is a little bit tricky, so you might need some help. And then you press them together so it makes the point of the star. You have to do that to every single one of these. So have the point at you, put glue on one side, and fold it on top. Whoop. On top here, there we go. Make sure you press it down nice and tight, but try not to squish it too much. And you just keep going around. It's okay if your paper kind of starts to fold up a little bit. We can fix that a bit later. So keep pressing them on. Put the flap on top of the other one, stick it down. Now up to our 4th one here. Put glue on top. Put the flap on top there and press it down. Awesome, so you've got your 4 points here. Flip it over and you'll see this top point looks a bit weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to press really gently on the sides here between the points, along the fold lines. You'll see they'll pop into a nice little point. So there you've got 1/2 of your star. So now you're going to put that to the side, get your other bit of paper, and we're going to do that all again. And then you flip it back over and squish your point back up to the top, making sure you get a nice little sharp point. Sometimes you have to go a bit under. So, a nice sharp point, and we have our 2 stars, look the same. Good job, everyone. Now we have to stick them together. So what you have to do is, it can be a little bit tricky. You grab some sticky tape, get a nice long bit, about that long, and you have to turn it around so that the sticky bit's on the outside. It's a bit weird. And you turn around and stick it together so you make a little loop with your sticky tape. And then you stick that loop just here on the star where the 2 sides of our points are, and press it on so you have a little loop sitting there. Now we have to do that for each of the little joints. So you're gonna get lots of practice at making these little sticky tape loops. So your long bit, make sure the sticky bit's on the outside as you turn your loop around. And you grab it, and then you stick it on the next join, just there. Then you grab another sticky tape. You guys are getting very good at this now. Turn it around, sticky bit on the outside, stick it on the next join, and one more. Turn it around, sticky bit on the outside, and stick it on the last join here. So you've got 4 bits of sticky tape on the joints. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hold this one upside down, you're going to have this one and put it right down on top so the points are going over the sticky tape. And then you gently press it all together, and then there you have your star. And you can stick some string to the top so it can hang up on a window or a door, or you can just have it lying around your house like this. Great job.
Well, that's all the time we have for Sunday Kids Online today. but we got to sing a great song. We got to do Pete's amazing StarCraft, and we got to learn a memory verse. Now I'm having trouble remembering it, but I remember, don't be afraid, just believe. And we need to make sure this week that we do trust Jesus and we believe that He's with us always. Well, we hope you can come back next week for some more. See you later.